What's up, guys? I'm going to show you how you can trade items from the sailing drop that lets you make 200, 300K a pop in very little effort by flipping. I've made millions with this method. It works amazing because the prices haven't settled yet. So these are some of the items I'm targeting so far. And as you can see, the margin on these items is crazy. There's Barracuda Paint, Anguish Ornament Set. I don't think that's actually old. Rosewood Seed, the Dragon Metal Sheet, the Swift Albatross Feather, that is my favorite, and Bell's Folly, the new Raffir. Now, if you guys are looking at these items, as you can see, a lot of them are almost 10% margin, and a lot of them have really good volume as well. The Swift Albatross being the best, and Bell's Folly being the second best. Dragon Metal Sheets, the prices are very volatile. I've seen them be $8 million, and then I've seen them be $25 million all in the same day. So this is obviously very risky, so understand that, and you'll need a little money to get started. Now, I personally have swapped probably, I don't know, 100 Swift Albatross Feathers. It says there's no limit, but I think there's a 20 buy limit per 4 hours because I have hit parts where I couldn't buy it even though I had the best offer available and people were buying it cheaper than me. So you can look at the return on investment of some of these things like the Barracuda Paint, which doesn't move as fast, so that obviously makes it a little more risky. But as you can see through some of my trades here, I'm buying them for about 3.1, selling for 3.4. Like I'm making 300 or 400K, sometimes more, on every single feather I sell, and I literally am buying and selling them all day long. Like I've made a crazy amount of money. I started with a stack of 10 mil just to see how high I could get. In maybe an hour, I got to like $22 million, and it was not hard at all. So these are the items that you're going to be flipping. There's probably some more out there. So if you guys know any, make sure you let me know in the comments what you're flipping right now, and I'll show you some of the trades I was able to do and how to do this. All right, so the website we're going to be using to find these prices is going to be the old school RuneScape price checker, which I've talked about before in my other flipping videos. If you guys haven't seen those, make sure you check them out so you understand how to use the website. But the basics is this: you want to buy it for the least amount that you can and sell it for the most amount you can. So if you look at this website, it'll tell you what the buy and sell price is currently. Kind of reverse them in your head. The sell price is going to be the lower price that you're trying to buy at, and then the buy price is going to be the higher price you're trying to sell at. So you want to have something on the old school RuneScape price checker that has a big difference between the buy price and the sell price. All the new sailing items are not botted yet because there aren't scripts to bot these things, and people are trying to skill up as fast as possible. So any items that help with sailing right now are flying through the roof price-wise, and you can make a ton of money on that, and that is the group we're hitting for. So I'll put the link in the description for that website so you guys can use this as well, and I'm sure you'll find some other stuff. But as you see, I'm buying these Swift Albatross Feathers, and then I'm selling them for 200K more. Like I'm literally buying them right now for 3.2 million, and I'm flipping them for 3.49 million. So that's like 250K after the little GE tax that they put, which is 2%. So you do have to incorporate that. If you sell something, you want to make sure the return on investment is always more than 3%. The return on investment is the difference between what you bought it and sold it for. So pretty much I try to set a buy for the Swift Albatross Feathers. That's pretty low based on the price checker. And then I try to sell it at the buy price that's on there. Just put $1 above when you're buying it. So if the lowest buy right now, so the sell price on the old school RuneScape checker says 3 million. You would want to make yours like 3,100,000 because that means someone's already buying it at 3 million. You don't want to also buy it at 3 million. You want to buy it a little bit above so you cut the line. When you're selling, you want to do the same thing. If someone's selling it for 3.5 million, you want to list yours for like 3.49 million. So that way, again, you cut the line and you'll be the first person to sell because it's always the lower price first. Now, again, I know this is like a little complicated for some of you guys who are maybe new into flipping. But honestly, it's really easy once you get the hang of it. Once you understand like how to find a margin and just buy and sell, it's very passive. Like you don't have to sit there constantly doing anything. You don't have to constantly click. I'll just like watch a movie or watch football or whatever I'm doing, and I'll just throw up a couple buys and sells, and I'll check them every once in a while. And you can make easily 10 or 20 million right now per hour, no problem, as long as you have some starting capital. You could probably make 100 million, no problem, as long as you had enough money. The only thing would be maybe the hidden buy limits. Like I said, right now, I think the Swift Albatross Feather has a buy limit of 20. Also, items with buy limits make them more valuable because someone can't just spend $1 billion and buy all the Swift Albatross Feathers and then sell them at, 8 million instead of 3.5 because it's tough to get right now. People are trying to farm it, but the reality is it's hard to get and you can only buy so many. So buy limits are a good thing and they keep items valuable. If you look at most of the valuable items on the GE in general, they're either stupidly expensive because they're rare or they have a buy limit. A lot of those are both of those as well. If you guys have made it this far, hopefully you find some value in this content. I try to make old school RuneScape videos about making money because I've always been super interested in just flipping and stuff like that. So if this video does help you, I'd appreciate the sub. You guys are awesome, and hopefully we can make a lot of GP with the new sailing update. So far, so good. So for most of you guys, I would recommend buying the Swift Albatross Feather as long as the margin's okay. So go on the price checker, check what the margin is, and if it's okay, I would try to buy it right now. And then I would try to have a constant buy sell going. So you buy as many, I don't know how much gold some of you guys have. Some of you probably have 30 million. Some of you probably have 300 million. Some of you probably have billions. Okay. But for now, I would definitely start with Albatross Feathers. The Barracuda Paint and the Dragon metal sheet is super valuable, but it's super risky. If that Dragon metal sheet starts dropping in price, it's going to drop quick. But it's tough to get right now. So there's that component of it. And people are just trying to skill up so fast in sailing that as people top out in sailing and the rush to skill is not there anymore, I would wager most of these things will drop dramatically in price. So just be careful. Like when I go to bed at night, I do not hold any items. Even if it's for a small loss, I sell everything. Yes, you might wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, I could have made 3 or 4 more mil. Shadow, nice, you screwed me. But one day I'll be right and we'll wake up and these things will start tanking and they probably will not come back to these prices. So this really is an opportunity for everybody to make a ton of GP really quickly and really easily. So take advantage of it. Again, if you guys have any questions or you have any items you're flipping, please share them. It's sure helpful for everybody. And a lot of these things have buy limits anyway. So that's why I don't care about telling you guys about the Albatross Feathers, because I can't buy 1 billion of them if I wanted to. I'm still going to flip them, but I think by telling how many people see this video, I don't think it's going to hurt. And plus, you guys have been really supportive of my content, and I'm really close to getting partnered. So I love you guys, and we're going to keep trying to make gold together. So that way we don't have to pay for our bonds. Anyway, moving on. All right, so as you guys can see, I made some real money. I've only been trading for about an hour today, and I've already made like $3 or $4 million. And it wasn't even, and that's with me recording. That's me just trying to do it in a way that I can also record too. So keep that in mind. Super easy profit. You can make a ton of money right now. Do it now because the price is going to change dramatically. All right, let's talk about a couple things that are important for this method. All right, you have to understand that prices can change, and at any moment, it could be the end of this, right? Everything could start tanking. Like the Barracuda Paint, for example, if you look at the buy price, it's worth like $4. Like if you go to buy it, and you go to the GE, it's going to say $4 as the starting price, right? So we don't want to get caught having this at $5 million when it's $4. So it is important to understand that while these prices have been really crazy so far, that we need to keep an eye on it because we don't want to be the ones caught holding the bag. Okay. So like right now I just bought for 5 mil and I was trying to sell it for 6 mil and it's kind of dripping down towards 5 mil again. I don't think it's going to start tanking yet. It's just a weekend, so it's probably a little busier. So I might adjust my price from 6 mil down to like 5,480,000. So that way I'm below this guy and I can unload it. Cause again, we don't want to get caught holding these things. They're fine. I believe in the things we're doing. I think it's a good thing, but we don't want to buy 1 million Barracuda paints and not be able to offload them at 5 mil. And then they end up being worthless. So I'm going to change my buy right now, so that way I can sell it. And the key with these things also is we're trying to trade fast. This is not like an overnight hold kind of thing. You can do that if you want. Super risky. It could totally work out for you. But the idea with this is quick flips. So the idea is we're literally changing the prices as we go. We're setting them and we're trying to buy and sell things within minutes. So Barracuda Paint, for example, is just a cosmetic. Doesn't do anything other than that. So I can't imagine it will hold value forever. So I'm just going to try to get out from under it. And then I'll buy again because it keeps bouncing up and down. If we look at the Swift Albatross Feather, I'm telling you, dude, this is the GOAT. This is what you guys all got to trade. At any moment, look at the low and the buy down here on the chart I'm using. There's always a moderate gap because the demand is so high for this item right now. I mean, like right there, I wouldn't buy it. That's a good example of what I wouldn't buy. If it's like that, like only 80K difference, not worth it. I mean, that's a good buy price because it's pretty low for how high it's been. But you want to have a gap of at least 300 or 400K. 200K is fine. And you want to be buying. So right there, that 3491, I'd be buying at 3492 and I'd sell it 3799 mil. So that's a good example of what you want to do. But if you look at this, this thing constantly has a very wide margin, which makes it a great item to trade. So I just wanted to look at the charts for you guys a little bit so you see what I see. Some of you guys probably already know this stuff, but it's just a little more advanced for you guys. So that way you can understand that I'm not just conjuring this up with a crystal ball. The Dragon metal sheet, which I kind of showed quickly, this thing is bananas right now, and I don't know what the weekend's going to do. I'm thinking weekend might make prices drop a little bit because there's going to be so many people on, but I could be wrong because maybe everyone's trying the sailing update for the first time. So if you look, when the sailing update launched, this was about 5 million, right? And then it started ticking up, and I noticed this because I was online when it happened, and I was trying to buy it at 5 million, and I couldn't. And now it went all the way to 23 mil, And now it's kind of sitting around 15, 14. Still a great margin to trade, 14. The only thing is if this comes crashing back to 5, you're going to be in trouble. So just be careful. And if you see something start to tank, maybe just get out from under it and try to trade the new margin. And that's fine. So that's a good example for that one. The Rosewood Seeds, very constantly well maintained margin. You can look at the green line and the yellow line. They're always pretty far apart, little crossover, but in general, the margins are great on these things. They just don't trade that fast, but the return on investment is crazy. Definitely, you should have a couple buy orders for this up at all times. Rosewood Seeds, they are starting to go down in price a little bit, as you can see, because people are probably getting their trees and they're getting the wood and whatever. But as you can see, really good item to trade. Definitely do recommend. So like right now, I'd buy this at 1,352,000 GP, and then I would be selling it for like 1.698 mil, or you could even go a little lower, 1.695 mil, and still that's 25% return on investment. So that's great. All right. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. If you guys have any more questions about flipping, I'll try to make more videos. I'm sorry I get caught up in real life. Sometimes I have a bunch of kids and stuff like that and a real job. But anyway, I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Please throw this video a thumb up, and I will catch you in the next video. Have a great day, guys. Go make lots of GP.